Hi everyone, this is Rajita Devi, Government Degree College, Hayat Nagar, Department of Computer Science. Today I am going to discuss about on sixth semester Web Technologies, BSc. In this, I am going to discuss about on these topics, Web Technologies in objects in JavaScript and DHTML, and then messages and confirmations, and then I am going to discuss about on these things, multiple frames in a single window or writing into a different frames, and rollover buttons and moving images. These are the concept today I am going to discuss about on these things. Then I will go to next before going to that, I am going to discuss about on these things, objects in JavaScript, and discuss about the DHTML. Before going to that, we know the thing about event. What is an event? Which is a responses made by the browser and account of user interaction, and often referred as event. I mean, a response made by browser, whenever we are responding we are asking some information from browser, and account of user interaction, and we are taking any information from that browser, are often referred as an event. For example, playing an audio clip as soon as the page is loaded. Whenever we are playing an audio clip, which is a play, whenever we are taking that information, the page is loaded, and generation of information text as the mouse pointer, which is generation. That is the information, the text having some information, the multiple pointers is moved through a certain region of web pages, which is moving through some pages from that region of that web pages, and submission of user entered data. And whenever we are submitting the type of data, whenever user asking the type of data, user entered that type of data to the server, and upon the clicking on submit button, which is known as a thing of event. And what is event handler? Before going to that, what is an event handler? When the event is generated, there is often required of code. When the event is generated, when we want to generate that event of often required of that code process, these events, such code is known as event handler. The type of code is we are calling with the event handler, and this event handler by an event handle, and event handler is a code. Whenever we are calling with the event is a code, a function written in a scripting language. Whenever we are writing in a function which is written in the scripting language, that is executed when corresponding event occur. Whenever we are corresponding, then occur. The process of handling is known as event handling. Whenever we want to take the type of process, we know a thing of event handling. In general, we have two type of event handler. There are two things will be there: interactive event handler and non-interactive event handler. In this iterative event handler, the event handler which release on the user activity for them to be invoked, are interactive event handler. For this an example: on click, on double click, on mouse out. These are the example for interactive event handler whenever we are doing on that. And non-interactive event handler, the event handler which do not depend, they are not depending upon or rarely on the user activity. For them to be invoked are not interactive event handler. This is an example for onloading and offload, which is these are the two things: interactive event handler and then non-interactive event handler. There are three types of events. There are some types will be there: keyboard events, and the mouse event, and window events will be there. These are about the thing of event handler types. In this, first one is a keyboard event. We know the thing of keyboard event is occur when user press or release a key from the keyboard, then the output will be modified. Whenever we are doing on that event, whenever the press releases, And then for example, in order to refresh a program, we are using function key, that is we know the thing of F5. And then keyboard event rarely occur when shift key or control up down and up arrow and down arrow etc. we are using for that purpose. And then for each and every key which is existing on the keyboard, Unicode is available, which is having any Unicode. Every key which is existing on the keyboard, that is a Unicode which is having a Unicode available. And when a keyboard event occurred, the key code properties of the event, it is translated into the equivalent code, which is a translated, which is in between equivalent code, equivalent Unicode. These are the keyboard event. And then the mouse event. When we learnt about the mouse event occur when the user moves the mouse. Whenever we are doing on that mouse or click that left button, or there are different types of mouse event available are there, event handlers are there available. On mouse over, when mouse moved over the text, whenever we are doing on the mouse moving on the text, image and link will be there. This is known the on mouse over. After that, the next will be on mouse up will be there. Whenever mouse button pressed, whenever we are pressing on that, this is known. On mouse down will be whenever the button is clicked, which is known. And then on click, when the button is clicked on click only. When the button is clicked double time, D click only. Which is a D click. Whenever the button is clicked is double time. These are the mouse events. And when the mouse events are a raised button, whenever we are raising property of the event object identifies which mouse button is pressed. Whenever we are pressing on that, because of for each and every button is equivalent and Unicode is available, which is known as a mouse event. And then next one is the window event is there. If an event is occurred, whenever we are taking an event by using the browser window, then that type of event we are calling a window event. We are calling with a window event. And window events are onload, we are having as well as onload events. Onload and on unload will be there. These are the two things will be there. These are the things, events, types of events. And next, which is an example for this events, types of events as shown the program. And then which is having some HTML program will be there, in which we are having some header and script function F1 will be there. Alert, welcome to that window event. In this welcome to that window event, a script will be there and head will be closed, and then body onload, and then F1 function is there. And then H1 align center, welcome to that our page only, our page, welcome to that our page, and H close. And this is an example for whenever we are doing on these things, this type of things, as shown in the figure. Whenever we are doing on that welcome to that window event, we clicked on that OK. Whenever we are pressing on that mouse over or mouse onload or upload, that type of events we are using this in this type of functions. Whenever center we are using, alignment is a center, and onload we are using the function F1. This is a scripting language, which is welcome to that our page, and H1. This is the output of this welcome to our page, and as shown in the output web page. This is a example of that program. And then next program is mouse event. Whenever we are using the mouse event handler, whenever we are using on that align center on mouse over, and the style color is red, and on mouse out and style dot color is something you have to give in on that color, and you have to take on that color, and welcome to that our page. And then that is the program for output for that program, welcome to our web page. You have to give in that color, style is you are given, and that color is a red. On mouse out and style, that color is you have to take, or color is green, or welcome to that our page. And this is an example for mouse event. An example for for that program. And then message and confirmation. Next topic is I discussed about on this thing. JavaScript provides 3 button window types, which is having 3 button window types and dialog boxes that can be used from application code. That can be used only the application code. These dialog boxes are useful when we need information from the visitors to our sites. Whenever user responding, we need information from that visitors to our websites, and we may need them to click a confirmation. We are clicking the confirmation button before the information to our database. These are 3 types. So many will be there. These are the 3 types, and prompt and confirm and then alert will be there. These are the, whenever we are taking the information, you have to give the information that is a confirmation. This is about the messages and confirmations. And then next a prompt will be there. And this prompt method shows a dialog box which is having some dialog box is there with a message part, which is having some message part, a text entry field which is having some text entry field, and OK button and a cancel will be there, which is having some fields will be there. That is, the fields are OK and cancel. If the user press OK, the text in the text entry field, the text is in the text entry field is written as a string, which is written as a string only. If the user press cancel, the null value is returned by the prompt method. Null value returned by the prompt method. Prompt takes 2 parameter, which having a 2 parameter, the first message and second default text that will appear in the text entry, that will appear in the text entry field, which is having some syntax will be there in the prompt string, and then another we are having some string will be there, which is a prompt. For an example for this, some HTML program and prompt will be there. That is the in the section scripting language I written in this JavaScript var name, and the name is equal to prompt and enter your name. In that prompt you have to write and you have to give that name, enter that fields I am given in this here, enter your name and document, write and your name and then plus name and then scripting. These are the prompt of this is an about of a prompt which we are taking in this JavaScript variable name, and then we are taken in this the output will be shown as shown in that as shown in this figure. That is will be whenever we are entering in this, you have to enter that gives enter your name and enter your name that having this is a concept of prompt as shown in that this is the output for the prompt web page. After that, confirmation. How to give a confirmation? The confirm method shows a dialog box. When a confirm method shows a dialog box that contains a message and OK and cancel. 2 fields buttons will be there. If the user press on the OK button, the confirm method returns true. Whenever the user press on the OK button, the confirmation gives method it returns true. If the user press cancel, the method returns false. And syntax is a confirm and string will be there, which is as shown in the figure. The HTML and head will be there, the prompt will be there, and the body and scripting language is there, and then JavaScript var x only. And then X confirmation. If you do hard work, if X having and document right, you will get good marks. If condition we are using, in this case we are using if and else part. If it is correct, it will be good marks, and else you have to go document right, you will get less marks. This is the about of if else statement. We are writing in this confirmation of this program, and this is a scripting language, and close have the HTML and body and script also. And this is a program for output of this program is whenever we are clicking on this, the confirmation, you have to press a dialog box will be displayed on this web page. In this web page, if you OK or cancel, you have to choose any one. After that, we are going to discuss about on the thing of alert. The alert box is useful for altering the user to something important. Whenever we are using alter box, that is useful or altering the user to something important. Whenever a JavaScript alter box is triggered, a small box will be pop up and displaying the text that is specified in the JavaScript code. Whenever we are using that is specified in JavaScript code. This type of pop-up box is a dialogs box. Which type of box is a pop-up box? Whenever we are open, sometimes we are saying about that these things, whenever a web browser is open, the pop-up box is a dialog box will be used. In this, when a programmer wants to make sure or not, that is the information in the passed to the user. The alter box is pop up and with an OK button which the user has to press or continue to continue. This is about alter. If display if it is display the text string or OK button, this may be used as a warning or to provide ending messages to the visitors. This is about something of alter, and syntax for this alter is alter and then string within the double quotes. After that, this is for this an example will be there, a program and a head and something, a prompt will be there and a close. After that, scripting language, JavaScript within the double quotes, and then alter, welcome to the JavaScript, and then scripting only. This is the output of this program. Whenever we are clicking on the browser, the output will be which is as shown in the dialog box. This is as shown that OK button. Whenever you press on that, the information on the program which is displayed on that screen, which is this is about an alter. After that, I am going to discuss about on the thing of the status bar. The status bar usually displays helpful information about the operation of the browser. It will shows the status of that information about that whatever you have to take the type of operation of that browser. The status property sets the text in the status bar at the bottom of the browser only. Whenever we are taking that status of property sets, the text in the status, the text will be in the status bar. The text shows in the status bar at the bottom of the browser only. The status is the small message area you see at the bottom of the browser window only. For example, IE, Internet Explorer, whenever you are using the users, you probably see a web page and symbol and the word done. That is a word done. This area can actually be used to shown as a message. This is about the thing of the status bar. The syntax is a syntax, status, and then information and program. The status bar for the program, HTML and body. In this paragraph, look at the text in that status bar. You have to look at that text in the status bar. And scripting, which is having a window and the status is equal to some text in that status bar, and then a script close. After that, this is about the thing of how to use the status bar, how to display that information in that window, in that web browser. Whenever we are taking some text in that status bar, it will shows. This is for this the output will be as shown in that figure, status bar, that is it shows whenever we are using the above program. After that, when we are using multiple frames in a single window or writing to a different frames, how to write whenever we are taking a frame which is having a single window or writing to a different window, how to write in a different window frames. This is about the thing. And by using multiple frames in a JavaScript, whenever we are using multiple frames in a JavaScript, a single window can be occupied by the multiple frames, and also the way element of one frame can be used to maintain elements of other frames. Whenever so many ways will be there, and also the way whenever we are taking on the elements, one frame can be used. Whenever we are taking one frame, that only we are maintaining elements of that frames. After that, often developing links in one frame and the output in another frame provides easy movement, which provides a easy movement through complex data, which is having which is a link between one frame to another frame, the output having some one to another, and frame provides which having a frame that providing easy movement through complex data. And following program generation 2 frames, and each frame covers if of the window, which is an example for this program, frame demo and HTML. This is a program name. After that, the frame demo, which is having, and a frame row, which is I am taking here a row 50% and say 50, and then half of the row will be taken here, and src and a frame 1 some HTML is there, name fd1, and a frame 2 and HTML name fd2, and frame set which we are having. This is a one program of frame demo having. In this two programs will be there, frame 1.html and frame 2 will be there. In frame 1, whenever we expanded the program for this title FR1, in this I taken the scripting language JavaScript and function A, and document written is the welcome to that new site, and then function B, the document write successfully logged in. This is the in this frame demo, which is having two programs, that is frame 1 and frame 1 as follows. A continuation is a head and frame 1 which will close, and frame 2 will be there, and which is having frame 2. In that function will be there in input type, that is a button value is equal to new site on click parent frame 1.a1, and then input type is button value is equal to sign in on click parent fr1.b, and which is about the two things whenever we are executing on these program. Execution of frame demo.html, initially the frame demo having .html is executed. If creates two frames, and the output of the frame 1.html will be visible only in the first frame, and the output of frame 2.html will be visible in the first frame, and whenever the button of the frame 2 are clicked. This is the execution of frame demo.html. The effect of is observed in first frame but not in second frame. You observe that on click parent fd.a1, on click parent.fd.b. Here the word parent refers to the file frame demo.html, since it is inscript the other two children frames, which is having two children frames, which having frame demo having two children frames, that is a frame 1.html and frame 2.html respectively. Here this relationship between the parent window and children frame can be diagrammatically represented as, which is having a parent window frame demo.html, which is the two parts will be the frame 1.html and frame 2.html. in this data validation. After that, data, how to take a data validation. Data validation is a process to which a user has to given data or prompt data to utilize certain resource of a version, which is having some resource of a version. And data validation is a process through which a user is allowed to enter the data required by the organization. JavaScript can be used to validate the data in the HTML forms before sending of the sending of that contains to a server, which is having some servers or web pages. And form data that can checked by the JavaScript could be, which is having has the user left required field empty, as the user entered a valid email address, and has the user entered text in a numeric field, which is a data validations, which is having three types data. Whenever we checked on this, JavaScript could be, which is have these things, field empty and email ID and numeric field. And this is about a data validation. And then which is having something will be there, has the user entered, whenever user enter correct password you have to take or not. The script performing validations and error begins return to the user only. Many errors such as entered a space or character, which is having a space or character other than digits or letters into username and should be spotted at the client, which is as whenever I taken this for example program as some HTML and data validations are using for scripting language is as JavaScript and function, and then validation where username whenever we are taking on form one dot text and value, and if user length which is I am taking is less than 6 only, alter and username should be more than 6 characters, which are taken in the 6 characters only, and the scripting and head and then body and h1 example of data validation is h1, and a frame name is of form 1 and click and validation, and username is input type and text name text1, which is having an input type is a submit button will be there. Whenever we are submitting this button, the text will be shown, which is having some length, that is the only less than 6 only. This is about on the output for this program whenever we are entering the type of data. Example of the data validation, which is having two things whenever we are clicking on that username, and then whenever we are submitting the information, this second window will be open as shown in the dialog box also. If you want, you click on this OK button, otherwise you can left. And the next one is opening. How to opening and closing a new window. How to open and closing a new window, which is JavaScript provides some predefined function, which is having some predefined functions to open a new window and closing existing window. Whenever we are opening a new window or closing an existing window. Opening a new window, for that opening a new browser, whenever we are opening a new browser window is a simple process, which is having a simple process. To open a new browser window, we use the open method of an existing window object by using the window object. When we open, that method allows us a great deal of control over the appearance of the window that we open. That is, this is a syntax for window.open, and URL you have to take, and window name and attribute 1 and attribute 2, and after that URL you write in that. In this URL uniform resource locator, we can supply that web address of page that we wish to be displayed in an open window. This is a URL for that opening a new window. And window name, how can we display? And a window name can be given to the window by using window name and attribute. And then attributes having, there are various attribute defined for a given window. The list attributes are for this. This is width, which we having pixel size defines width of window, and height having pixel size and defined height of window, and resizable yes or no. This attribute activates or deactivates. You have to resize of a window. These are the things. Our scroll bar, which we are having yes or no. The attribute introduce if yes scroll bar in that window. Toolbar having, which is having two things, two fields will be there, yes or no. This attribute if yes creates toolbar carrying window navigation the shortcuts, which is having navigations. And location location is there, yes or no. If displays location bar if yes in correct window, and status will be there, yes or no. It displays a status bar in that current position if yes or no. And menu bar if yes or no, it displays a menu bar in consisting of a file or edit view option if yes. And copy history, yes or no, it copies the history list in the current window. These are the types of a window. How can we width we assign, and have a height, and resizable, and scroll bar, toolbar, location, status, and menu bar, and copy history. And for that an example I taken here, window open. How can be window open? And scripting language, we are written the scripting and function open. Window that opened 1.html in this body, click me to open that window type h1, and then button value click me and click on open. This is an example for the how can we use the window and window name. For that the given program output will be there. In this the output is some having whenever we click on that window, the above shown as shown that figure will be given. And then after that, how to close existing window, how to close the type of existing window. To close active window, JavaScript provides a function name. Whenever we are using a function name called window dot close, whenever we are opening that window, how to close that existing window. Whenever we are opening new window, we are existing whenever we close that existing window, active window is a JavaScript and provides a function name called window dot close. The following code can be inscribed in the body region of that HTML tag. Whenever we are using that region in that body of that HTML tag, this is the closing of existing window. And then after next one is example for that program. Close window open. After that JavaScript you have to write function open one and window open that one.html. You have to write function close and window dot close. And after that body, you whenever you click me to open that new window, whenever this is an h1 and a form will be there, input type button value click me on click is equal to open one. This is an input type, button value is equal to close on click only, close one, and a form and which is having the whenever we are using this type of program, that click me on click me to open the new window, it will shows. After that two options, it will gives close or on click open or yes or no. It will shows a dialog box. This is a program for closing a window. After that rollover buttons. After that rollover buttons, which is having JavaScript supports effective technology called image rollover or buttons rollover, which is useful to give visible feedback location of the mouse cursor by changing the image on the web page as the mouse moves over them only. Mainly these rollover images is in hyperlinks only, which is having hyperlinks. Mainly it is very difficult to use the rollover images in the Flash player or in the Java programming language, whereas the JavaScript programming language after that is for simple, because it is used by swapping the images as the mouse move over it. This is whenever we are using on this mouse move over on it. And when the image is in the inactive status, then move is not over it. The second image is active status when the cursor move over on it. And this is an example for mouse over buttons. This is a scripting language, JavaScript and function will be there. Mouse over that having my image. I taken my image in that that figure will be there. That src is having some a.bmp, some image will be there. The function mouse over, whenever we are using on that my image src is equal to b.bmp image will be there, and scripting and head will be there. And after that welcome to roll over button will be there. My image src is equal to a.bmp, mouse over is equal to, and mouse over this on mouse over, and then mouse out this only. This is the whenever we are using on this mouse over button. This is an example for this. Whenever we click on this the mouse over, only that type of welcome to the type of web pages, and whenever we click on that mouse over, whenever that having text, it will be displayed. In the above example, the mouse over is moved over the image will transfer to interactive stage, and new image replaces the existing image. After that, moving images. How to move images? A moving images plays a vital role in a website only. These moving images concept use more than two images to move the images from the one place to another place. Whenever we are using a JavaScript provides a function called that is a set timeout will be there. After that, based on this function, the image moves when it completes its specified time, which is having some time will be there. Here the time represents in terms of milliseconds. It's a more user friendly of our images only move for restricted for amount of time, such as a web. When a page is first loaded, whenever we are taking that type of, whenever page is loaded, when the user specially triggered that event. Here the image or logos can be created by using layers or directly. To stop the moving images, whenever to stop the type of images after specifying time, by the set timeout function, we will clear the time whenever we want to that clear the time, and by using the clear timeout function. This is about on moving images. After that, today I am going to discuss about on these topics of images, moving images, and windows, and the type of things I discussed about on these things. Thank you for watching this video.